do, people? I'm just gonna share the link to this real quick. I think latency is fine. Actually, I'm gonna post this on Instagram first. Trying to force myself. Oh, hi. Hey there, stranger. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the stream. I'm just trying to get a bunch of people on here. Let me know what's up in the chat. I need to get some work done, so I'm forcing myself to finish. Yeah, whatever. What happened? That is not correct, because OBS says I should be fine. Stream health. Since when? Yo, Derek, what's up? Can you hear me? I'm testing out this live stream at Touch. It's quite interesting. My internet is not on my side today, but let us see. Like, it's so weird when you're trying to live stream because it's such a different workflow. Okay, mic's a little low. Let me bump it up. Is that better now? Let me see. Okay. I don't know why my mic volume has been low. I'm not sure why. That's the right side. Um, Let me know if it's better. All right, sweet. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna post this link one more place, then we can start. I'm basically trying to work on this website. It's been taking a while, but today's my deadline, so I'm trying to force myself to finish. No, it's not WordPress. So this is Figma. So I'm actually designing the UI in Figma. We're going to build this on Webflow actually. But I did get the inspiration from a WordPress theme because it's like it's like a matured business and then like the solar industry. So it needs to look, a little matured and a little serious. So yeah. If you've got any questions, you can ask. Let me know if the stream is okay. YouTube is telling me that my stream health is bad. All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm using Space Grotesque. Well, that's what came with the brand identity. I didn't do the brand identity, so I'm just kind of using what they gave me. Initially, I wasn't going to use it because I didn't think it was going to work, but it's not too bad. Looks like it works fine, so that's what we're using. Yo, Cletus, I'm good, brother. I am good. I hope you're doing good too. Alright, posting this one last place and then we get to designing. Yeah. I don't know, I might still change it though, because I'm on the fence a little bit about I'm on the fence a little bit about how it feels. So I'm currently in the phase of my design where I'm just kind of trying to get things out, and I might go back and tweak and try to fix things later on. But yeah. Okay, so what I need to design right now is a contact page. So I'm just gonna duplicate this. Like those kinds of pages are my least favorite to design because I typically don't know. Yeah, they're just not that interesting, honestly. So I typically don't know how to generally approach them. And those of you who do UI UX design and you're using frames and things all the time, you're about to laugh at me because my design process is ridiculously manual and not optimized at all. Yeah, but this form is going to be pretty simple. We are trying to do like a simple contact form that's going to take some names and some basic contact information. So you get to see my extremely whack. By the way, there should be no reason why I'm still designing like a contact form by hand right now. There should have been like a ton of options that I can use right now to like just populate it in. But in some, in some weird sense, it still feels fast. So we'll keep doing it. Do not do this, people. It's ridiculously inefficient. It's so weird having you guys watch me because I'm usually not used to designing when other people are watching. But I really want to do a lot more live streaming, so this is practice for me, I guess. One of these days I should do a session where one of you teaches me auto layouts, because I am extremely terrible at auto layout. Paul, do you mean that you're also slow at auto layout? All right, yeah, I feel you, man. What icon plugins do you guys use? Iconify is like my go-to, and I use it all the time. But let me know in the chat what icon sets you use. Like, I don't see why anybody would use another icon set outside of Iconify. Mr. Robinson Crusoe, what is your real name, please? I don't know what your real name is. It's so weird, actually. Is that your actual name, Robinson? Flat icons, click ons. Okay. I didn't know flat icons had a Figma plugin. I'll check them out. Also, to what extent do you guys... No, I don't know that story. I've heard the name, but I don't know the full story. Yeah, I actually have the Untitled Icon library. A friend bought it and we're engaging in piracy, so commercial. Right, the non-project. Yeah. Yo, the non-project used to be like the OG. What's the contact? The non-project used to be like the OG icon thingy. Like, that's where I used to get my icons from back in the days. So the client gave me the contact form. Christmas photo walk, huh? I don't know. We'll see about that. I do want to do like a Christmas hangout thing though. Get it now. Okay, here we go. First name, email, phone number. Alright. Any else forgetting something? Preferred package, government employee, payment form. All right. Okay. But do I want to do a tab? Oh wait, you guys remember what am I saying? What was I saying? See, this is the problem with trying to work in stream. You can't like possibly get anything done. Cletus, were you talking to me? Oh, the Christmas hangout. Charlie, just laziness. Like, it's just laziness. I need to figure out. I need to find a venue, get people there. You know, it's just been like extreme laziness on my part. I will try to get someone to help me with it, but never quite pull it off. So, okay. So they're reaching city town. Do I need all this information? Okay, for residential, that makes sense. You guys are going to have to decipher between when I'm talking to myself and when I'm talking to you. But this is what it looks like when I'm designing. Talk to myself all the time. Yeah, we'll try. We'll try to do the hangouts. I'll let you guys know. It just feels like so much is happening. You know what? I'm just going to screenshot this. We can talk about other things whilst I do this, so feel free to ask me any questions. I'm still at the very beginning of this process, so it can be a little slow sometimes. Desktop. Okay, so I have a question. Whilst we try to do this, if I was doing consistent live streams, what kinds of things would you guys like to see? Because I feel like watching me design a contact form is so boring that no one is actually interested. So, what would you guys like to see? Oh, Robinson, you're mistaking me for another person. The person who mentioned that AI has helped him up his animation game was Ed, not me. Ed and I are two different people. Ed and I aren't the same people at all. City region address. Okay. Let's just do this divided by 3 instead. So, fun fact, do you guys use like division signs in your when you're creating designs? So I use a lot of math in this. Like, do you know you can do math in this field? Where you have the width and size information. I do a lot of interesting math. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. I do it all the time. It's such a neat hack. Region city address. Okay. I'm just going to. Do I have a button on this page somewhere? Okay. There we go. This design is not driven by my workflow right now. Is not driven by any design system whatsoever. Absolutely none. So typically, when I'm almost at the end of my process, that's when I'm kind of going to go through and try to like solidify things. But for the most part, I'm just being extremely ineffective. Company. Clutches, do you mean with the math and kind of like figuring out the grades and how things align? All right. Yeah. I do very terrible planning, so I think trying to do this live streams will just expose me and how bad of a designer I actually am. Okay, I have that now. Alright, cool. So I'm basically ripping off this guy's form, right? So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy what I want, and then later on I'll fine tune it, because I have a different idea for how I want the form to behave. So first I'm just going to lay everything out the way I think it should work, and then I'm going to come through and fix it later. Yeah, as you can see, well, I don't name most of my layers, as you can see, but sometimes when I need to move things around consciously, I will start naming my layers. Do I have a tabbed design somewhere? Okay, I don't, but I'm just gonna use this. Do you guys actually see how many artboards I have in my design? It's an ungodly amount. So what I'm doing here is essentially there are two forms on this page, right? Or no, actually there are multiple forms. So when you come to the contact form, you can actually submit a query under, different service categories: residential, commercial, government, non-government. There are like 6 different categories in total. So what I'm trying to do is see if there's a way I can actually enable people to switch between different forms on the page. I mean, I could. So there are a few ways to do that. One is to use tabs, right? Tabs kind of make things very obvious, where you can select, your category. Or I could actually switch this around, where I put the category as the first thing in the layout, and then when you select that, it now determines the fields below, right? So we'll try both options, see what works, and then go from there. But typically when I'm working, I'm trying to, decide between these two things, which is like, what's the UX of how somebody will get the information that they need or get to the action that they want easily. And I'm really heavy on clarity, because there's nothing more annoying than a confusing website where you want to do something simple, but you have to like go through a lot of loopholes. I think I have this this tab somewhere on some page. Okay, I have a tab design here. This is what I'm looking for. So tab groups. Are there any tricks you guys use to move faster when you're designing? So this is residential. Yeah, but it doesn't feel related though. That's a problem. commercial. Yeah. That's interesting because I don't think I do too much planning. Um, because I'm a figure it out on the go type of person. Okay, so this is option number 1. So basically what this option does is you can change this to select the form, but I don't think people are going to understand that because in the flow of filling the form, no one is going to think, hey, I actually want to select a tab. So I think what I would want to do is I'm going to auto layout all these things now so I can move them around easily. This is the only case in which I use auto layouts, by the way. If I'm actually trying to set things up so I can move them around easily. That's the only time you catch me using auto layouts. Alright. Boom, auto layout. Yeah, but Derek, I feel like you use auto layouts for everything. Yeah, which is extremely annoying. Okay, I think this works better. But then these titles become useless. Okay, no, you can change the title so the person kind of knows where they are at and what they are doing. Derek, maybe you should teach me auto layout sometime because I don't understand how you guys use that for every single thing. This is the wrong component. Where's the right one? Oh, I did not change the image. Fancy. Okay. Yeah, Charlie. Few times I've tried using auto layout. Did not go as planned. Okay, but I need space for forms with more questions. Okay, so fun fact. No, so if I say I'm not good at planning, collectors, I mean for like projects, right? So I think, yeah, you plan a project generally when you're about to start, But then when it comes to like the design work itself, right? So there are some people who are very, very good at like structuring, getting their design systems in place and figuring out grades and all these other different things before they start work, right? I'm not that type of person. I typically have, when it comes to design work in general, I typically have a core idea of the things that I'm trying to do. And then I just start working through things and start getting clarity. So let me see. Like for this website, for example, this is like the very first page I put down, right? And somebody would have had a wireframe or something that they're trying to work with. But I had a meeting with the client. I got a sense of what the layout needs to be. I drew that somewhere. And then I just started working through the UI, right? So these are like some very early iterations of like the design that I did. I even kind of like this better now that I look at it because it's a bit more friendlier. But these are some early iterations, right, of the same design. So I spent like a day going through all these different iterations. But based off of the references that the client gave and all these other different things, I realized it wasn't working. So then I did start exploring a new different direction, which then now became the direction I ended up going with, right? So what I mean by planning is like, I'm not setting up grades or anything like that. I'm just kind of exploring the design as I go and making decisions, knowing very well at the end of the day what I want to achieve, right? Yeah, so that's what I mean by planning. I don't know if that makes any sense. But for the project itself, yes, I generally try to plan, make sure like I'm good on that before we actually get started. Okay, so another thing that I do is I use this plugin called To Do, which is like fantastic for just letting me gather my thoughts and creating a checklist of things that I need to get done during the course of the project. So I have like a never-ending list of to-dos here that I follow up with all the time, which is very handy. So check it out. It's called To Do. It just kind of keeps me organized, so I know what I need to do as I progress through the design. Okay, so this form will grow, but I think I have a baseline for this. So I'm going to move on to solving another problem. I think I'm going to refine this off stream because I possibly can't get the level of refinement I need whilst I'm still talking. But I got the baseline, works. I'm going to move on to solving my next problem, which is to design a wizard. Also, one thing I'm not doing is like, I'm not worrying about lots of details. So for example, like, you may need like a bunch of drop downs throughout this entire design. But like, I'm not designing any of that right now. Because in my own workflow, I kind of wait till I get to the end before I start adding those final details, which is dangerous because sometimes I can miss some of them. But my devs usually put me in check. No, not native drop downs, like actual customized drop downs. I mean, sometimes you just go with native drop downs, but when necessary, I kind of like to customize them. Depending on the project, sometimes we stick with it, other times we won't, right? Like, we'll customize something. And also depending on the laziness of the dev. My dev shouldn't hear me say that. Okay, cool. Next is this form from Forbes. So how much you spend? Okay. So they have a title, they have a progress bar, then they have a question and options. Alright, then they have an image. Cool. That's what I want. So I'm just going to create something similar. Let me grab a title. Derek, did that make sense? Did my answer make sense? right. My answer makes sense. Okay, so because I am in boring work territory for good reasons, a bunch of people have bounced off the stream. For those of you who are still here, why are you here? First of all, let's do a survey. Do you work from home? Are you watching this from the office right now? How much time do you have to be hanging out here on the stream with me? What else do we got? Oh, okay, this automatically moves. All right, there's a back button. Wait, Paul, so you have an office, like you go to an office job? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, dude, I haven't worked from an office like in the last 3 years. All right, so what I'm doing is essentially just back to the design. It's essentially the same thing I do most of the time, right? Which is first, I'm going to replicate what I want. And then I'm going to come in and tweak, right? And again, the client has very specific ideas for what they want, so I'm just going with the flow here. Paul, where do you work? Well, don't put that in the chat. What work do you do? I don't want anybody on the stream knowing where your office is. I mean, if you don't mind sharing, but I'm curious. What's your role? UI designer, UX designer? What is it? All right, cool. All these elements be looking too small, so I need to preview. Good for you. How's vacation? Yeah, right. This is too small. How's vacation, my dude? Yeah, Charlie. Okay, that's better. Let me double the stroke of these things to like 2, 3, 2. Nah, it's thicker than that. So let's go to 4, maybe. Nah, 4 is too much. Sure. I think it's literally called lo-fi steady. Let me copy the list. Where's the share button? Why did it make it so hard to share something? Quite honestly, most of lo-fi music sounds the same to me. So I really just go to Spotify and type in like lo-fi steady music. And that's that. But this is the one I'm using right now. This is what I'm using right now. And then I'm playing this coffee sounds in the background. So you can go to coffeetivity.com where you get access to this coffee sounds. But basically just putting in lo-fi steady music should get you most of these things. There's another place you can also get sounds. It's called Dephonic. This one has a lot more options than Coffeetivity because you can get like, yeah, plenty sounds. So you can check it out. Oh, my stream is frozen. There's work waiting for you, my dude. Catch up. You got work to do. Okay. Let's pop in an image here, see how it looks on Splash. Home. Okay, let me find this logo. Oh, Ed is the one who did the brand identity, by the way. Okay. I need a close button for this form. That's cool, man. It's always good to spend time with yourself. Okay, so by the way, I'm using this clock. Where's the stream? Let me switch cameras. Where's my OBS? So I'm using this clock. It's a kitchen timer I bought from Amazon. For some weird reason, it kind of keeps me focused. I don't know why, but it really keeps me focused. So right now I just have like 30 minutes, like a 30-minute time on it. I guess you could call it Pomodoro. And I don't necessarily take a break when the timer goes, but it just kind of gives me a sense of how much time I'm using. So I know this is like my third 30 minutes block. Yeah, something to do with ADHD, but it just kind of really helps me keep track of the work, and I know how I'm progressing, how much time is passed. Sometimes it's 90 minutes if I'm really, really in the mood, but if I'm not, it's just 30-minute blocks, and I might stop after like 3 or 4 blocks, typically, if I'm doing design work. So yeah, that's a quick trick for you that I do all the time. Back to the design. Okay, so I think I have a draft for this as well. This title is too big, so I might find. I think did I reduce this title? 48. Yeah. Okay. I have got this down as well. So all these things are to be fine-tuned later, right? Right now, I'm not doing much fine-tuning. But they're going to be fine-tuned later on. Okay, where's my to-do list? New summary design. Right, okay. Lady for solution, product page design. I think I'm done. Okay, yeah, I need a modal for this page. So I need to design a modal for this page. When somebody clicks on a product, we want them to get some more information in it. So yeah, Clutches, go ahead. Please go ahead and I'll answer as much as I can. I need to add another fill. Oh, sweet. Sweet Figma. Okay, why aren't these things behind the fill? This is so strange. Okay. So essentially what I want to happen is when somebody clicks on a product, there's no detailed products page. So I want them to see a modal that gives them a little more information about the product. So I'm just gonna set that up real quick. Clutches, I'm waiting for your question. Um. So, so I've always felt like there was something wrong with my brain all the way from high school, like all the way from no, actually all the way from university. I've always felt like there was something going on with just the way I process information. I'm easily distracted, but also just the speed at which I process information, my ability to multitask and hold a lot of these different things. Um, so I have had multiple indications that okay, maybe something is different, right? I didn't know what it was, but last year I started um, I started watching a lot of videos about ADHD, right? Now, before I started watching those videos, like I've always known that timers help me work properly. I didn't know why, but I knew that if I had a 30 minutes or 45-minute timer, I just work more effectively. There were other things I was doing, like I would close all my browser windows maybe like multiple times a day. So much such that in 2018, macOS didn't have like a shortcut, an inbuilt shortcut for like closing all windows. I found it and I created one because it was something I would do all the time. It just kind of helped. I didn't understand why. So when I started reading about ADHD last year, I was now looking at all these different things that I used to do to help myself work better. I was now seeing all of them, and people were like talking about them as coping mechanisms for ADHD or things you can do to improve your ADHD. So that was the first thing. That was like, oh wait, so all these things I've been doing, that's are like my own tricks. They are not like people have figured them out, and it's somewhat related to ADHD. So I started reading more about it, started watching videos, listening to lectures, following people. And the more I read, the more I identified with symptoms that these people will talk about, right? So I did that for like maybe 6 months. And that's what kind of led me to the conclusion that, I think I may have ADHD. So I'm not officially diagnosed for it or anything, but just from my own struggles to get work done and like the symptoms that were being discussed, I was like, okay, I think I have this problem. So for example, this particular stream I'm doing, I'm literally doing it to force myself to work, right? So I have this thing I need to get done today. I had no motivation to get it done because it didn't feel like fun, but the stream felt like fun, right? So I'm like, okay, if I put the work on the stream, then it's going to be easier for me to get through it because I'm doing something fun whilst I'm kind of, doing this very boring thing in addition to it. And that is like a typical ADHD kind of coping mechanisms to force yourself to get things done. So it was through this reading, research, watching things that I'm like, okay, I think I have this particular situation, right? So I've not been clinically diagnosed or anything like that, but just my own observations is what led me to that conclusion. And maybe at some point I might get clinically diagnosed, we'll see, but right now, just me, myself, and I, plus people out here on this YouTube. That's how I kind of came to that conclusion that I may have ADHD. Let me know if that's clear and if that helps. This close button is too thick. Any other questions you lovely people want to ask? Yeah, Clatus, that is how. Derek, I didn't know if I answered your question about um the drop downs. Okay, I think I've got all my pages. So product page design, contacts page, a wizard. Um, rearrange solution section. Okay. Services, solutions. Okay. All right, people. I think I'm kind of done with fleshing out all the pages. I have a list of tiny things and cleanups I need to do. But the dev was asking me for some feedback, so I'm just going to pop this in here real quick so that he can see some of that stuff. We'll come back and tweak. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. I think you should explore it some more, test things out. Don't get too hung up on it because it's also very easy to fall down the rabbit hole of say, "Oh, I have ADHD," and and use that's an excuse. But that's for me. But yeah, explore it, find methods that work for you, and yeah, understand that you are unique and different. Okay. I think I have my core pages. I have my home page, solutions, product, about. I need a contacts page. So I think I'm going to change the get a code for contact. Um, is there a way? I don't know actually. I don't know. But I think a symptom of ADHD may be overthinking. I'm not quite sure if there is. I don't know if there's a way to separate the two. But I feel like overthinking it's like that weird thing. Not every overthinker may have ADHD, but you know, maybe every ADHD person may have overthinking. But yeah, I really don't know. It's a good question. I don't think I have an answer to that, but it's possible. It's possible. It's possible that they're related. I think I'm going to change this to contact. I'm using Space Grotesque. So it's the same font I'm using throughout actually. I'm using Space Grotesque throughout the entire design. Space Grotesque is a Google font. Yeah, I might change it though, but we'll see. Okay. I have my home page, solution template. Then I have a solution summary page. Then I have products page. Then product details model. Then this is the get a quote model wizard. This is, let me change this to default. Contact form. Thank you very, very much. Then I have an about page. Yeah, I think those are all the pages I need. Those are all the pages I need. Okay, cool. Typically, you're supposed to have a sitemap whilst you're doing all these, but obviously I didn't draw a sitemap. Why all caps for the title looks weird in my opinion, because the logo itself is title case. So I don't, for now, I'm not quite sure why I did that. It's a design decision I made because I think Space Grotesque looks really big, really good at like at big sizes, but when you come down to smaller sizes, I don't like it very much. So let's just test it out here. Let's see. Maybe I wasn't thinking about it properly, but I didn't like Space Grotesque at a smaller size in sentence case. It just, like the Gen Z people will say, it wasn't giving. So that's kind of why I switched it to all caps. Let's see. Accessible solutions. I guess it works. Could work. Just it doesn't have the same presence though. So this is what it looks like in preview mode though. I feel like these font sizes are way too big. Yeah, I guess it works. I guess it works. Let me change it on everything, see how it looks. Let me see. -2, -2. Okay, it's the same. Yeah, I think it works. I'll consider it. I think it works. Thanks for the question. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see our partners. Okay. Yeah, I do kind of like the feel of the. I do like the very rugged feel that the all caps gave, but I think this might work better actually. Let me do one last thing and see. I'm going to change all these to DM Sans. So the brand actually uses Space Grotesque and DM Sans as a font. But I just stuck with the Space Grotesque in my design. Let me see how it look like if I switch. I need to detach this from symbol. Could you check Africa's? Okay, we'll do. We'll do. The content here is not final though. Going to have a content person check it out. Africa's. Okay, capital A. Got it. Thank you. Okay. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, this is the DM sounds. I change it. Okay. Space grotesque. Yeah, I think this could work actually. I think this could work. Let's see what this looks like in DM Sans. Yeah, actually, I think this works. Thanks for the heads up, man. Yeah, yeah. I think we got it. I think we got it. All right, cool. I think this works. So now I can start. Can start finalizing sizes. I can start finalizing my textiles. So at this point in the design, I don't have any textiles at all. But typically, now that I kind of have a feel for what the design is like, I'm not going to go through and standardize like what my H1 should look like, what my subtext should look like, what my, overlines and body copy and, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. Because the dev is going to need all that information to make their life easier. And if I can give it to them, they will love me. And I get a peace of mind because I don't get to answer 10,000 questions about what's the font size for this. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. What's the font size on this? 96. I feel like 96 would be too big. But we'll see. 72, okay. I think this section is too wide. All right. This is some fantastic progress. Okay, let me see what this looks like at a slightly smaller. 96. Let's do 84. Let's keep it big for now. Let's check on mux. So there's another problem I have to solve, right? Which is, let me explain first. So you see here in this design, these containers are on the edge of the screen, right? I mean, that's fantastic. There's no problem with that. But there's a problem that's going to happen if they now get on a larger screen. So the challenge with having designs that go end to end is, say you now get on a larger screen like this, then you have this situation right here that you kind of have to fix, right? So you need to make a bunch of decisions around how these elements will react when you now get on like very big screens. So that's usually a headache. How these people solved it is that they kept the container in the middle, right? So everything is just like kind of dead space expanded. That's sort of what I'm tempted to do, because it just makes your life easier. It just makes your life a lot more easier. You should check out this website, by the way. It's like, yeah, responsiveness. So here I haven't thought about responsiveness at all, right? So I'm just trying to lay out the design, but I've always kind of had it at the back of my mind. So now I need to deal with how is this going to behave on large screens? How is this going to behave on smaller screens? How do we stack these grades on tablets, on mobile? Which is kind of the challenge with these types of designs, and also the math, right? So for example, you know, my grades aren't necessarily lined up. So the way I work, yeah, let's check Apple. So the way I work, I'll typically solve all these problems later, because if you're not careful, that can stop you from actually creating good design in the first place, because you're not optimizing for all these different things. Nah, is this the new Apple design? Because it's going end to end here. Can you share? Okay, yeah, this container is at the center. So here they're making some decisions where some things go end to end and some things stay in the center. So these cards, for example, they go end to end. Okay, I think the containers are in the middle. All right, sweet. I am in Safari, and Safari is okay. All right, got it. Okay, yeah, I might do something similar. Actually, you know what? Let me see how Media Monks, how did they do it? These guys are like the ultimate end-to-enders. Yeah, everything scales. All right, cool. Yeah, so I think we'll keep it in the middle. Let me see, get a demo. Oh, I like this. I really like this form. I think I'll steal it. I like how the tags are very clear. Yeah, this is the form. Let me see what the drop down looks like. Okay, they're using the default. I guess it's just faster. So I am going to steal this form because I love it. UI draft. Okay, cool. So I think for my responsive view, I might do something. Where is it? I might do something that's a combination of the two. So say this section, for example, I might let it go all the way because why not? Same thing for the footer because it's a color block. Let it go all the way. But these things are weird. So I think I think I might toss a line here for the container. Work in progress. Any critiques? T-Bag, are you asking for like any critiques in the chat, or let me know? What do you mean? Are you talking to me or to everybody in the chat? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this line. Oh, I didn't see it. I'm coming. Nah, T-Bag, the link didn't come. Can you send it again? Toss up the link again because I cannot see it. Whenever you're ready. Do I get this to go? T-Bag, share the link here. I can't see the link. So please share the link. Oh, I'm cropping. Okay, let's fill. I don't know, but I can see your chat. Check it out. No, zoom out on the browser. See work in progress. Any critiques? The link I sent above. I can see the link, so send it, or you can just probably just send it to my WhatsApp and I'll open it. All right. I think I like this idea of dealing with large screens. So the image go end to end. We keep the straight lines on the sides that mark the container. Keeps everything within the grid, which is delicious. All right. So now I'm on my phone and I'm distracted. Let me just respond to this message. I'm doing all right. Okay, let's take a look. iCloud is not working with me today at all. Okay, just gonna type this in. The Mind Realty. Oh, Midland. The Midland Realty.com. Okay, cool. So I think overall it looks good, straightforward. Um, gives me the information. Color palette works for the most part. Um, I think typography looks good. Yeah, so on the macro it works, right? So the devil is in the details. My screen size, I don't know. I really don't know what my screen size is. Let me see if I can check. Display 16.9 sharpness, energy. Dell U2417H. Let me check the screen size here. I never really know. Dell U2417H. Screen size. It's a 23.8 inch screen. So like 24. I've never had to check that before. Oh, my MacBook is a 14 inch. My MacBook is a 14 inch. But I'm actually not viewing this on my MacBook though. This is my Dell screen. So I'm looking at this on my Dell, not the MacBook. So this is my external monitor, which is much bigger than my MacBook screen. Yeah. Okay, so design works. Personal tips and tricks. I sometimes, when I have hero sections, with text like this, I'll typically try and toss in like a 2-line subtext, just because it fills in the space better, and this feels very bare. But I think that's a preference. It's not objective. Excuse me. It's not objective. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, you have like the design is very square, right? So you have this very solid square blocks with this entire layout. So these circles feel out of place, right? So maybe try using squares instead of circles. Yeah, so try using squares instead of circles. That's my blend. And also if you can change these indicators. Again, these are very round and your design is very squarish. So if you can change the indicators to like something horizontal block or even squares, it will make this entire session feel like it's more together. Same thing for this consultation icon as well. And I also have a trick. So I know you want to highlight the consultation icon, the calendar icon, which is fine, but the problem is that it feels too stark, right? Again, so my goal is, how do I get everything to feel like it's part of one composition? So the trick for that is, let me just create a new board. The trick for that is just to kind of make it feel a little sweeter. I'll just take the same color, and just drop it down like a few shades to create a slightly darker version. So let me show you that, and then I'm just gonna drop this down, right? And I can toss my icon in, so it gives me what I'm looking for in terms of the separation, but it just feels a little more like integrated, right, in terms of like the feeling of the design. So these are just like tiny details I will obsess over to kind of get the design to blend and to look very, very together. I not look like I have like multiple elements flying all over the place. So yeah, I'm going to change this to white. maybe even change it to like a slight gray instead of white. Yeah, so I might go a little more with something like this. Consultation. $16. Yeah, so I might do something like this. Not the white text though. I'm changing this in a bit. Instead of the black circle, right? So that's a tip I use all the time, to just kind of make things feel together. And then what I was saying about the arrows, you can do the exact same thing where you have this like square carousels. Yeah, so that's like one major thing. So the general rule here is that, and then for the carousel controls, just either go with something like so, you know, on the images, or go with like a square. I might prefer like the rectangles, right? Yeah, so you can use either of these carousel controls, right? Yeah, and what I'm trying to solve for is how do I get this entire thing to feel like it's part of like the exact same system, and just the feeling of togetherness. So that's that. This section is cool, unless you intend for this white to blur into the background, right? I might use like a slight off-white in the background to separate this entire lockup from the background, right? So that's also something, again, just little things I think about, because it feels weird with the way it's blended right now. So I might, just put in a slight off-white, change the background to an off-white. I think I can even do it in CSS, can't I? Let me see. Okay, no, this is Safari. I can't. Yeah, so I might change this background to like a slight off-white, to kind of help me separate this container. Let me see, what am I doing here? Okay, let me just create this background first, and then let me crop this image. And this is too gray, so let's just go up. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, but I mean, I'll give it to you anyways, and then you see how much you can tweak, right? Yeah, so I might do something like this, because again, I want that separation and to kind of feel like, okay, this is within a container. So yeah, this section is fine. The challenge here is that your icons are not consistent. So this icon and that icon feel very different from this icon and that icon. So to make things look a little more together and just, again, a lot more polished, I might try to get an icon from the exact same set. I think Iconify from Figma should help you do that, where you can get a lot of different icons. This section is cool. There's too much space between the title and the subtitle, so when I'm looking at the UI, I need these two things to feel like they are related. I mean, the title here and then this body copy, right? So I think essentially you want to have similar space like you have between this two and that. So move this entire block up a little bit, maybe like by reduce the space by half, so they feel like they are together. Same thing for here. I think the rest of the sessions work. Discover more. Yeah, I think this is cool. Again, if you can tweak the arrows, because I'm in this very square design, so having those circular arrows, not my favorite thing. This section works. Okay, yeah, I think it works. Yeah. So I mean, for the homepage, those are like some of the things I would do to kind of tighten it up and just make the design feel like it is more together. And it's not. So I mean, with this one, I could sort of tell it's a template, but I don't want to tell that it's a template, right? Um, yeah, I think this page works. Solid color blocks. The spacing issue here as well, same thing. So who we are. I don't know if this is like a subtitle or it's a part of this. If that's the case, then you're going to have to find a way to separate the two, right? Either this is a different color or it's a smaller size or something. But same thing, move the section up a little, close the gap by half, because the separate, or put a line here if you want to separate the two. Oh, okay, you don't see it on your screen. Okay, cool. Then check it out then. Our services, I'm assuming work in progress, contacts look swell. I like these icons actually. Map. Yeah, looks solid. I think if you make those tweaks, you can get things to look a little more together, and that could be like help the design come together a lot more. FAQs. I don't have an FAQ on my website. Do I need an FAQ? Maybe I do need an FAQ. Talk about it. Yeah, dude. That's what I think. So I think it's solid design. Looks good. It works. Only thing now is just those tiny details to make it feel together. And it should be golden. Alright, I'm getting rid of this now. Okay. Okay. Your boy is tired. I'm going to go out later tonight, so I'm pretty tired and sleepy. But this has been fun. Thanks for hanging with me. And if you're still here, I think I got some work done, which is the whole point of doing this in the first place. So yeah, it's been fun, and I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'll keep you guys updated on this project, by the way. I'll let you know how it goes, and if we finally launch, I'll post a link so that you guys can see. All right, people. Stay peachy. Catch you later. Cheers. And enjoy the rest of your night. For those of you at work, safe travels home. Okay. Bye. Thank you, Paul.